Namaste students, I am JVN Dr. Upesh Madhukarlikar, working as Assistant Professor, Department of Kriya Sharir, Faculty of Ayurvedic Science, Jyoti Vidyapith, Women's University. Today we will discuss about mechanism of respiration. Mechanism of respiration can be studied under three subpoints. First, mechanism of inspiration, in which we will study movement of lips as well as movements of diaphragm. Second, mechanism of expiration, where we will study muscles involved in forced expiration. And third, respiratory pressure, in which we will study intrapleural pressure and intraalveolar pressure. So let's start, beginning with the term apnea. Apnea is the term given to rhythmic breathing at rest or relaxed state of body. The term apnea includes inspiration as well as expiration. Let's see first mechanism of inspiration. Inspiration is an active process, means it requires energy. Thorax is enlarged during inspiration. How? By firstly movement of ribs outward and upward, and secondly by descent of the diaphragm. Amongst the 12 pair of ribs, different pairs of ribs move more or less to enlarge the thorax for inspiration to take place. The first pair of ribs move but little in quiet respiration. But in hyperapnea, that is abnormal breathing, movement of this pair of ribs bring increase in anterior-posterior diameter of upper thorax. Normally, second to sixth ribs lie obliquely downwards and forwards from their joints with spinal column. During inspiration, these ribs move upward and become more horizontal due to contraction of external intercostal muscle, which increases anterior-posterior diameter of the chest. This movement resembles with the pump handle movement. Lower 7th to 10th rib move outward and upward and increase transverse diameter of thorax, resembling the bucket handle movement. Now, diaphragmatic movement. Before inspiration, diaphragm is dome-shaped. During inspiration, due to stimulus of phrenic nerve, muscle fibers of diaphragm contract and draw the diaphragm downward by 1.5 cm in quiet inspiration and by 7 cm in deep inspiration, which cause increase in vertical diameter of thorax. Now, mechanism of expiration. It is a passive process, means it does not need any efforts. But during forced expiration, for example, during exercise, bronchial asthma, the muscles of expiration contract. Muscles of expiration include anterior abdominal wall muscles and internal intercostal muscles. Contraction of anterior abdominal wall muscles increases intra-abdominal pressure and draw the lower ribs down and medially and push the diaphragm upward. Contraction of internal intercostal muscle pull the upper ribs down so that the ribs acquire the position as seen at the end of expiration. Next, respiratory pressure. Two types of pressures are exerted in the thoracic cavity and lungs during process of respiration. First, intrapleural pressure or intrathoracic pressure. Second, intraalveolar pressure or intrapulmonary pressure. Previously, we saw the pleura has two layers, visceral layer and parietal layer. Space between these two layers is known as pleural cavity or intrapleural space. The fluid in this cavity is called pleural fluid. Thus, intrapleural pressure is the negative pressure existing in pleural cavity which is exerted by the suction of fluid into the lymphatic vessels. Following are normal values of intrapleural pressure. At the end of normal inspiration, it is minus 6 mm of Hg. At the end of normal expiration, it is minus 2 mm of Hg. And at the end of forced inspiration, it is minus 30 mm of. Next, intra-alveolar pressure. Intra-alveolar pressure is the pressure existing in the alveoli of the lungs. It is also known as intrapulmonary pressure. Normally, it is equal to the atmospheric pressure, which is 760 mm of Hg. It becomes negative during inspiration and positive during expiration. Transpulmonary pressure is the pressure difference between intra-alveolar pressure and intrapleural pressure. It is the measure of elastic forces in lungs which is responsible for collapsing tendency of lungs. Another important term studied under mechanism of respiration is compliance. Compliance is the ability of lungs and thorax to expand. In simple words, it is the measurement of change in lung volume when one unit change in airway pressure occur. It measures stiffness of lungs. It has two types, static compliance and dynamic compliance. Static compliance is measurement of compliance when breathing does not take place. And dynamic compliance is the measurement of compliance during breathing. Compliance is studied under two headings: compliance of the lungs and the thoracic wall, and compliance of the lungs only. Compliance of the lungs and thoracic wall. Lungs and thorax both are viscoelastic structures, means they both are expandable. When there is an increase of airway pressure by 1 centimeter H2O, then the volume of the lungs inside the thoracic wall increases by 0.13 liter. Compliance of the lungs alone, that is, lungs outside the chest wall. Compliance of lungs alone is equal to approximate 2 times the compliance of lungs and thorax. Specific compliance is the compliance per liter of lung volume. That is, the compliance of lungs divided by functional residual capacity, where functional residual capacity is the volume of air present in lungs at the end of normal expiration. So here we end the mechanism of respiration, in which we studied mechanism of inspiration, mechanism of expiration, respiratory pressure and compliance. Thank you.